Hey everybody, Tyler Hurst from On a Roll, going live again with RPGaDay 2017. This one's for number 5 through 7. Um, so the first question, number 5, is which RPG cover best captures the spirit of the game? And I know I've been thinking about this. I know my answer is going to kind of seem a bit like a cop-out answer, but I feel like RPGs can't be defined by a single cover that captures a single spirit of the game, because I think there are multiple spirits of RPG. For example, Deadlands has its own spirit, whereas Iron Kingdoms or D&D 5e has its own spirit as well. But as for personally, I mean, if I was just to turn this into like what I feel captures my spirit of RPGs most, I would have to say the Dungeon Master's Guide. I love the cover with the Lich wielding his magical staff. I think that's awesome. Not to mention it's very well done. A close second for me that just screams fantasy. I'd probably go. I love guns and steampunk and western. I'd probably go with Iron Kingdoms. I love their cover. That's honestly what made me buy the book, is that the cover was awesome and the few pages of like lore I read was amazing as well. So Iron Kingdoms and the D&D 5e Dungeon Master's Guide. Number 6. You can game every day for a week. Describe what you do. Man, every day for a week. So I'd first off probably, if it was this week, I'd finish the mini campaign I'm running in one of my homebrew worlds, Steam and Steel mini campaign. I'd start on the Dungeon Delve that I've never done Dungeon Delves before, so I'm starting to run one sometime either this week or next week, the Shrine of Tomoe-chan. So I'd probably start running that. I'd probably run a one-shot sometime during the week, maybe in Providence by Western setting. Or maybe I'd try something new. Maybe I'd finally get around to running Iron Kingdoms if I had the time to run game every day a week. And then I'd probably do one of my campaign sessions Friday, another one Saturday. I don't really play on Sundays. And maybe something another day. I don't know. Maybe another one-shot. Maybe some prep for something else. I don't know. Maybe my home group. Number 7. What was your most impactful RPG session? My most impactful RPG session. Goodness. I think about the time when I first started running my Providence setting, which is my Western Fantasy 5e, gunslingers, sheriffs, bandits, whatever. I think that was probably one of my most impactful RPG sessions. Because for me, it showed me that I have the capability to run beyond generic fantasy. Like, it showed me that, like, it really is in your head what you feel like you can and can't run. I know that lots of people are like, oh man, I don't want to run anything historical because it's like, oh, so much research. Personally, I think that if I were to play in a historical game, I wouldn't want it to be completely historical. Namely, because I don't think I personally, as a player, would know all the references the GM was making or the different cultural and historical information that they were trying to convey through the setting and tone. I'd very much like it to be the GM's own take on that setting so that I can, play a character in it. But I think for me, that was kind of a wake-up call that I don't have to run only what I'm comfortable with, yeah? Like, I don't have to run high fantasy. I don't have to run that generic fantasy where elves live in forests and dwarves live in the mountains and where humans live on the surface, building and growing faster than everybody else. Like, I don't have to do that if I don't want to. Like, I can take a setting, make it my own, and run that or play in that if people will have me in that setting. But I mean, like, that was probably one of the most impactful sessions for me because it also showed me that ultimately it's just about having fun. It's not about all the historical stuff. It's not about being culturally correct. It's about enjoying yourself and running a fun game for the players or playing in a fun game for yourself. So that's 5 through 7. Heck, I'll do number 8 for tomorrow too. What is a good RPG to play for sessions of 2 hours or less? Oh man. Sessions of 2 hours or less. The few experiences I've had with Fate make it seem like a pretty decent game to run, just like pick it up and run it. I've run a D&D session in 2 hours, and it wasn't that bad. I mean, I feel like 3 hours is what you should aim for, but 2 hours I feel like you can do. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like again that really just depends on the GM and its pacing. I feel like any RPG could have a fun session in 2 hours or less. Do I feel like it's for me good to do 2 hours or less? No, I feel like 3 hours, 3.5 hours is best for me. But I feel like 2 hours could be done. If you were a really good RPG who's really good at pacing and making the players move and collaborate with the world, then yeah, I mean, I think 2 hours could work for people. But anyways, yeah, that's it for numbers 5 through 8. I'm Tyler Hurst from channel On a Roll, and as always, I hope you find yourselves in your games on a roll.